Yellowstone's supervolcano is overdue for an eruption. And it's not just scientists who are getting worried about it. Some animals have started showing signs of distress too. Elk are migrating in unusual directions, and bison are stampeding into the river. Is there a connection between these weird animal behaviors and the rumbling giant beneath their feet? Or are they just feeling the heat from this summer's record temperatures? Let's dive into the science behind these startling wildlife changes that have been spotted across Yellowstone National Park this year. Hi, and welcome to this channel. Yellowstone supervolcano is one of the largest and most active in the world. It sits beneath the aptly named Yellowstone National Park in northwest Wyoming. The park was established in 1872, making it the world's first national park. Yellowstone is home to more than 200 species of mammals, including gray wolves, grizzly bears, bison, and elk. These animals rely on the health of the surrounding environment to survive. So when something disturbs this delicate balance, it's important to pay attention. Since 1985, scientists have been monitoring signs of unrest in the Yellowstone supervolcano. In July 2022, researchers noticed an uptick in seismic activity. There were more than 1,000 small earthquakes around the park. On top of this, scientists observed a swarm of even smaller earthquakes. This behavior continued throughout 2023. There were over 1,400 small earthquakes and nearly 1,000 very small earthquakes. By the end of June 2024, there had already been more than 2,000 small earthquakes. Now, while none of these earthquakes were large enough to cause significant damage or pose a serious threat to nearby towns, they do indicate increased activity in the volcano. A lot of people have been wondering if these earthquakes are responsible for some strange animal behavior that has been observed in Yellowstone National Park. One of the most noticeable changes has been in the migration patterns of elk. In recent years, elk have been migrating later in the fall and staying closer to their summer ranges. Normally, elk migrate to lower elevations in the fall when food becomes scarce in the higher elevations. But in recent years, they've been staying put. Experts believe this may be due to the abundance of food at higher elevations caused by warmer temperatures and less snow. But others wonder if it could be related to the seismic activity. After all, elk have sensitive ears and can hear sounds that humans can't. Maybe they're hearing something in the earth before we do. In addition to elk migrations, there have also been changes in the distribution and abundance of bison. Bison are large, heavy-bodied animals that prefer to stay in areas with lots of vegetation. Since 2015, bison numbers have been declining in Yellowstone National Park. Experts say this is because of a changing climate and competition for food with other animals such as elk. However, some argue that the recent increase in bison stampedes may be related to unrest in the supervolcano. Bison are prey animals and normally don't stampede unless they are scared or excited. However, since 2010, there have been more reports of bison stampedes than usual. This could be due to seismic activity scaring them, or it could be a response to other factors. Either way, it is worth noting that there seems to be an increase in unusual animal behavior around the same time as the increased earthquake activity. But why would any of this matter anyway? Wouldn't a supervolcano eruption just be a massive inconvenience? Well, yes, it would be really inconvenient. An eruption would disrupt transportation, damage buildings, and possibly release harmful chemicals into the air. And although an eruption would bring a lot of attention to Yellowstone, the amount of actual danger depends on the severity of the eruption. Eruptions come in 8 different categories, ranging from explosions that only produce a small amount of ash to massive explosions that can destroy entire cities. According to a study published in the journal Frontiers in Ecology and Evolution, there is a 14% chance of a magma chamber collapse and a 90% chance of a smaller explosion. Even though an eruption would be disruptive and dangerous, experts don't think it would be big enough to cover the whole park or spread ash all the way to the east coast. So far, eruptions have only affected nearby areas. However, a larger eruption could send ash and gas far beyond the park boundaries, affecting millions of people and causing billions of dollars in damages. and no matter the size, an eruption would have an impact on the animals that live there. Some animals would be killed by the eruption itself, while others would lose their habitat. The effects of an eruption would be felt for years. As the area around the volcano rebuilds itself, so will its ecosystem. Different types of plants and animals would move in over time, and it could take decades or even centuries for the ecosystem to return to what it was before the eruption. While the future of Yellowstone remains uncertain, one thing is clear: the animals that live there are resilient. They have adapted to the hot springs, geysers, and sometimes violent environment, and will continue to do so. In the face of any challenges that come their way, from volcanic eruptions to climate change, they will adapt and carry on. But what if there is a link between the increase in seismic activity and the strange animal behavior? Could there be something brewing beneath the surface of Yellowstone that is causing these changes? Well, it's possible. After all, the Earth is constantly changing, and it's entirely possible that animals are reacting to something we aren't aware of. It's also important to consider that correlation does not equal causation. Just because two things happen at the same time doesn't mean that one is causing the other. There could be another factor that is influencing both the animal behavior and the seismic activity, or there could be no connection at all. We simply don't have enough data to say for sure. But that's why scientists are continuing to monitor the situation closely. They want to get to the bottom of what's really going on and make sure that people are prepared in case anything changes. But until then, we can admire the beauty of Yellowstone National Park and the amazing animals that call it home. Whether you're watching bison roam across the plains or geysers erupt into the air, Yellowstone is a place that will leave you in awe. And who knows, maybe you'll even spot some of the animals that have been exhibiting these strange behaviors. When you visit Yellowstone, it's important to be prepared. Make sure to pack for all types of weather, including rain, snow, and extreme heat. Also, be sure to follow all safety guidelines and stay away from any animals you encounter. Remember, you are in their habitat, and they are wild animals, no matter how tame they may seem. Finally, make sure to bring plenty of water with you and stay hydrated. It's easy to forget to drink water when you're busy taking in the sights, but it's important to stay hydrated, especially if you're planning on doing any hiking. Now that you know a little more about Yellowstone National Park and the animals that live there, it's time to plan your own trip to this amazing place. You won't regret it. So what do you think? Do you believe that the animals in Yellowstone National Park are reacting to the increased seismic activity? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching. See you next time.